Okay, so now I have two new orange lights. I haven't done this yet, but if I hit this one, I'm hoping that key group 1, course 2, the offset is now going to be 24 interval, or 24 scale steps, that would be. So I'm just choosing, just going to split 1 where key group 1 is, and then we've got, there we go, so I'm going course 1, course 2. Here there's, well, it's not actually 2 octaves because I'm in a major scale, but so there's that big gap there. And then if I hit the one underneath, which was just a one scale step, 1 interval, go back to key group 1, and so you can hear there's a tone difference now between the two courses. Okay, and the final example I'd like to show you is using so we've basically you should be able to take any bel canto phrase and build a talker out of it now. So I'd just like to show you how to use that with scripts. So we can even put a talker on here that runs a script at the touch of a key. So I'll just do a quick thing with scripts. So what I'm going to do is I can go to full screen mode. So I don't know how many of you have created your own scripts before, but I'm just going to go open text edit. So I've got a blank text file. It should be quite quick, I hope.
Whilst we're talking about scripts, Robin has a question. Do the talker keys always fire off a single bel canto command? If you wanted to modify all five courses with one key, would you need to execute a script?
No, you can just layer bel canto commands on top of each other. Actually, that reminds me of something else I'm going to need to show everyone before we finish. Okay. But no, you can layer more than one bel canto command onto one key, so it doesn't have to be a script. But I'll show you the script thing anyway because it's kind of useful. I use this if I'm doing a particularly long set and to change between songs. So I have like all my mixer settings here. So I'll say channel 1 volume to X set, channel 2 volume, and then for each song I have a different script that I load up, and you can quickly like switch some settings. And it's easier to edit than editing actual talkers because you're just editing a text file. So get a brand new blank text file. It's got to be plain text. So in text edit, I use the command Apple Shift T. So it's good, or actually on how do I do it? Oh, or on the format menu, it's got make plain text, make rich text. So it needs to be plain text. And then I say, so you add these like tags in. So first one is description. So I'll zoom in a bit more. So description, and then I'll say test script with an indentation. And then I'll say name. So that's the next tag, name. And I'll say name is, I'll say test script again. And then the next one is script, and this is where I write the actual script. So how it works is the tag is fully left justified, so it's on the full left. And then, so description, for example, is the tag. And then the actual content is indented by one, well, is basically indented at least one space from the left. So I've done description is the test script, name, test script, and then the actual script. This can be basically a series of bel canto commands. So I'll just do something really easy. I'll just do script master volume to 0 set. Actually, that's not exciting. I'll do a different one. A script drummer hey, 1 play, 2 play, 3 play, 4 play, 5 play. Okay, so I've done drummer hey. Oh, sorry, it should be drummer listen. Drummer listen. 1 play, 2 play, 3 play, 4 play, 5 play, 6 play. So what this should do is basically play loops 1 to 6 on the drummer when I fire off this script. Okay, so so there we go. So I've built a script. It says it's called test script. It's got description, test script, and it just says drummer listens. The drummer's going to be listening and play loops 1 to 6. I save that in the correct place. So I go to File, Save As. Let me zoom in a bit. So I go to Dave, or like my user library. Then I go to Library. and then Eigenlabs, and then I go to down here. There's a folder called scripts, and I'll just save it as whatever in here. So I'll save it as a, may as well take it, testscript.txt. Okay, so now I have this script in my folder, and I'm going to assign a key. So there's a key on here that I can press basically to run a script. So the first thing I do is a brand new conversation, empty join. The agent that's responsible for running scripts is called the interpreter. So I say interpreter listen, empty join, interpreter listen. So I've got the thing I want to control in my conversation. I put the talker in my conversation. So Hungarian talker listen, press enter. Okay, so now I've got the two things I need in my conversation. I'm going to create this talker key. I'll put it on, say, key 10. The normal bel canto command, I'll type that first. The normal thing I'd say would be test script. So you remember I gave the script a name, test script. So this is the normal thing you'd write. You say test script execute to run that. Remember, well, execute is the verb. We need to put when x in front of it. So I wanted it on key 10. So I'll say test script when 10 execute. Press enter, and I have a key now. I have a key, which I don't need to go that way, on number 10. So this is hopefully when I hit that, it's basically going to tell the drummer to play the first 6 loops unless I've made a mistake. So first of all, I'll start off the metronome. Then I'll hit this. There we go. Glad that works. Okay, so you can hear that it told the drummer basically to play loops 1 to 6. So there you go. So there's firing off scripts from talkers as well. Hopefully that'll be useful for some people. And the very last thing I want to show you, unless there's a question.
Does the name have to only contain words from the bel canto lexicon?
In theory, it should, but there is no word for script for test. Oh, there is. Yes, I think you're going to have to use bel canto words. So you could call it the minimum Hungarian script or something like that. And the last thing I want to show you is just so once you've built. But basically I want to show you how to look at the commands that are inside a talker. So we open the browser for this. So I've got the Eigen browser open. So I went to the tools Eigen browser. So in the Eigen commander, I type in Eigen browser listen. Or no, just Eigen browser hey. So the difference between hey and listen is hey means the Eigen browser is only going to be listening to me for the next bel canto command I type. If I type in listen, it's going to be listening to me from now on. So Eigen browser hey, press enter, and then I just say Hungarian talker phrase browse. Hungarian talker phrase browse, hit enter. And now you can see if I go to the browser, you go full screen. Cool. And then you can see, so I basically did Hungarian talker phrase browse. You can see these are all the bel canto phrases that we put in today. Start, stop, toggle, start, the test script, intervals, tempo. So there's a couple of things that you could say to that. So first of all, you might want to say Hungarian talker hey, and then you'd say something like, you could, if you wanted to cancel one of those, like say, okay, I didn't want the metronome to start on key 1 anymore. So I look in here and I can see when 1 start, that is phrase number 1. So back to the commando, Hungarian talker hey, and then I just say 1 cancel. I'm hoping that was correct. Yes, so now we go back to the browser. You can see that there's no longer at the top there's no longer when 1 start. And if we wanted to cancel all the phrases we just built, I'd say Hungarian talker hey, and then you can say all phrase cancel, and back to the browser. It says browsing phrases, none found, and if I look at my Alpha keyboard, there's actually there's no lights left on it or anything like that. So that is talkers. That was It was quite an extreme bel canto one, but
Wow, I'm bel cantoed out.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure you are as well.
So is that?
Yeah, that's talkers. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
talkers.
Yeah. Hopefully, because that means we've basically looked at like the basics of bel canto. We've like hopefully with the second one kind of understand a little bit about key groups and how like the setups are built. And then with talkers, so you can create your own key groups, you can create your own kind of sets of controls. The next thing we need to look at is like how the instrument rigs are built, so how like a little bit more detail how the samplers and the audio is put together. But then after that is quite a lot of stuff covered already.
Give me out of a job soon, Dave.
Yeah, well, it'd be good if everyone knows it.
Okay, cool. So I think that's probably everything. Okay, have a good night. And,
thanks very much.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully see some of you tomorrow. And yeah, cool. Right.
Great. Cheers.
All right.
Bye bye.